The women behind the voice reflect on 26 seasons of creating NBC's hit singing competition show during powerful evening. It was a night charged with emotion, laughter, and a palpable sense of accomplishment as the women behind the voice, NBC's long-standing, culture-shaping singing competition, took the stage to reflect on 26 groundbreaking seasons. Held at the historic Avalon Theater in Hollywood, the evening wasn't just a celebration, it was a tribute to the passion, persistence, and power of women in entertainment. From executive producers to casting directors, vocal coaches to production designers, the panel represented a rare behind-the-scenes glimpse into the unsung heroines who have helped build The Voice into a television juggernaut. Over the course of 13 years and more than 24 seasons, these women have not only helped find America's next singing sensation, they've helped transform the entire reality competition genre. A legacy of impact. When The Voice first aired in April 2011, few could have predicted it would redefine music competitions on television. While the concept wasn't new, the show's focus on vocal talent above all else, symbolized by the iconic spinning red chairs, immediately set it apart. What most audiences didn't realize, however, was how many women were driving that innovation behind the curtain. "You never think you're building a legacy while you're doing it," said Audrey Morrissey, the show's longtime executive producer. "But when I look back at where we started with whiteboards, post-it notes, and a team of 10, I see how we planted the seeds of something huge." Morrissey, joined on stage by her fellow executive producer Amanda Zucker, reminisced about the early days. "There was this fierce energy in the room," Zucker added. "We were all hungry, all believers in the idea that talent could win without gimmicks." From humble beginnings, the show has evolved into a global franchise, with versions airing in over 60 countries. But through every format tweak, coach shakeup, and viral performance, one thing remained constant: the passion of the team behind the scenes. The art of the blind audition. Few segments in television are as consistently suspenseful and emotionally rewarding as The Voice's blind auditions. The drama of whether a coach will turn their chair, and the emotional gut punch when they don't, has become one of the show's most powerful trademarks. "Designing that moment is an art," explained Michelle McNulty, the show's head of casting. "You have to balance raw talent with backstory, chemistry, and the unteachable ability to connect. And you only have 90 seconds to prove it." McNulty and her team of mostly women sift through tens of thousands of audition tapes every season. Her department's job isn't just to find singers, it's to find stories. And in an age of TikTok fame and instant virality, crafting an authentic narrative has never been more vital. "There's something magical about watching a young woman from Oklahoma step up and silence the room with nothing but her voice," McNulty said. "That doesn't happen by accident, it's 1,000 micro-decisions coming together. Coaches, chemistry, and curveballs." Of course, no discussion of The Voice would be complete without mentioning its star-studded coaching panel. From OGs like Adam Levine and Blake Shelton to icons like Christina Aguilera, Pharrell Williams, and Kelly Clarkson, the dynamic chemistry between coaches has been as central to the show's appeal as the talent itself. "Our job was to build a family," said Shakira Santiago, a senior producer who worked on talent relations. "We needed them to compete, but also to care. And it turns out, when you put 4 passionate artists in chairs and give them a mission, the sparks fly." Santiago shared anecdotes about late-night calls with coaches struggling over their team choices, impromptu jam sessions during rehearsals, and the unseen mentorship that happens backstage. Blake Shelton wasn't just a country guy with a sense of humor, he was a mentor, a big brother figure to so many of these kids, she said. Same with Alicia Keys. The way she nurtured young black female artists, it was like watching a masterclass in grace and power. Spotlight on sisterhood. As the evening unfolded, a theme began to emerge: sisterhood. Many of the panelists spoke about the unusual balance The Voice has managed to strike in an industry often dominated by egos and competition. It's rare to find a major network show that operates with a leadership team so female-driven, and rarer still to hear those women describe their workplace in terms of collaboration, kindness, and mutual support. Carmen Carter, one of the show's longtime vocal coaches and a former backup singer for Mariah Carey, described her journey from stage to sound booth. "I was used to being behind the microphone, helping artists shine," Carter said. "But The Voice gave me the space to coach and shape these young talents. And doing that surrounded by other women, many of whom had similar backgrounds, it felt like coming full circle. Carter emphasized how empowering it was to help contestants find their voice, literally and figuratively, especially women coming from marginalized communities or grappling with confidence. There's something transformative about watching a girl walk onto that stage unsure of herself, and then watching her light up when a chair turns, Carter said, her voice catching with emotion. In that moment, she realizes she matters. Beyond the stage, the evening wasn't all nostalgia. Much of the conversation centered on how The Voice has adapted to changes in culture, technology, and audience expectation. From the rise of streaming and social media to the diversification of music genres and representation, the women on stage have been at the forefront of evolving the show. Social media changed everything, said Jill Sanford, a digital producer who oversees the show's online presence. Suddenly, we weren't just producing a show for one night a week. We were producing content 24/7 for millions of fans. Sanford highlighted how digital strategy has helped contestants build careers even without winning the show. Sometimes the runner-up or third-place finisher ends up with a stronger career because of how they connect online. We help them craft that identity. The team also reflected on how the show has evolved to be more inclusive, celebrating queer artists, gender non-conforming performers, and culturally diverse acts. In season 19, when we had our first openly trans contestant make it to the knockouts, it wasn't just a moment, it was a message, said Morrissey. We're listening, we're learning, and we're evolving. 26 seasons of first. The women took time to share their favorite first from over the years, moments that moved them, surprised them, or shaped the show in ways that fans might not realize. The first all-female Final Four. The first time a contestant sang an original song during a blind audition. The first time a coach cried after a contestant's performance, and then recruited her as an opening act for their tour. And then there were the off-camera moments, the birthday celebrations, the last-minute costume adjustments, the young contestants confiding in producers about their dreams. Sometimes we're not just producers or coaches, said Vanessa Briggs, who works in wardrobe. We're therapists, mentors, older sisters. These kids trust us with their dreams, and that's not something we take lightly. The road ahead. As the panel wrapped, there was an inevitable question, what's next? With rumors swirling about upcoming format changes and the possibility of a Voice spin-off or live concert tour, the energy in the room suggested that after 26 seasons, the show isn't slowing down. But for the women behind The Voice, the future is about more than ratings. We want to continue creating spaces where real talent can thrive, Morrissey said. Where people can be themselves, tell their stories, and be heard, not just watched. The evening concluded with a standing ovation and a surprise video montage of iconic Voice moments narrated by former contestants, each thanking the women,